Good evening. Oh, there we go. Dog cam's finally up. Yay. Come here. I mean, not that you're gonna see anything. This sweet dog is buried in blankets. Yeah, odd. So, this is my charging cable for my mouse, but I guess it's not a fast enough USB for this crappy camera. So, when I was trying to use that cord, it basically just wouldn't work. So, that's fun. Okay. Also, hey, Dive. Okay. Fire World it is. Let's suffer. Actually, no. What are the gems that I'm missing? Let's try to focus on that. Water? Air? I think I need all of them, don't I? But let me take a peek in my world here. All right, let's swap hats as well, because it is winter here, so it is quite cold. Okay, so fire we can still get 200. That's 100. That's 100. I know that this is the problem child, but yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, here we go. We've already got quite a few items. Hey, Naxi. Hey, Stacy. How get empowered cosmic gems? Very rarely you just gotta pull them out of the empowered gem boxes. It sucks, I know. Otherwise, you can technically, if you break down your gems, I think it's actually in here. Right? There's these empowered boxes that you could just force your way to getting empowered cosmic. Of course, you have to get like a bunch of normal empowereds in the first place. So, is it worth it? Probably not. Hey, Supra. Anyways, yeah, pardon me, guys. I didn't realize I got a bunch of these boxes already because I forgot I kind of was gathering them throughout the week. Not really. I've been too busy. But yay, we've got boxes to open. Oh my god. Can't wait to see my flux die. Hope my comments won't get cooked by the YouTube bot this time. Yeah. That's a very likely scenario. Hopefully you guys have been doing good, by the way. I'm still fairly burnt out, but I am kind of in recovery mode. I talked about this in my other stream and even my other video. But I did, in fact, finally get everything scheduled. So technically, I'm good for my trip. It's just managing the videos right now. But I'm like so at the edge of being burnt out that it's like... That's why I've been doing like the streams lately, or, you know, today I just said screw it and didn't do a Trove video, for example, just because I wasn't feeling it. And I'm not gonna force myself. But the long short of it is that now that I do have everything ready for my trip, it means that I can kind of like slowly get rid of that mental block and the stress of that. And then I can just go back to, you know, kind of get back into a daily routine. Wife's got tomorrow off, so I can finally actually... Well, I was going to say I can finally sleep in, but we all know that's not going to happen. Funny. Anyway. Just opened 12k gear crafter boxes and dropped only one C5 out of them. Yay. Yep, sounds about right. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize. What the hell? Ah, there it is. Sorry, someone I was just trying to invite and they had a very strange name. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can... There's still a couple other projects that I'm hoping I can tackle before I go on my trip for you guys, but we'll see. Like, I got a couple VR videos that I have, like, I have a bunch of stuff recorded. It's just whether or not I'll have time to edit them down before my trip. Fun fact, you guys know how I posted my abiotic factor review today? Well, I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit that full playthrough. Because it's a lot. Is anyone gonna watch it? Probably like 5 people, but still, it's that one's gonna be a pretty big project. My goal will be to get it done before the end of the year, but no promises. Hey, Somnia. Or Hydra, yes. Hey, Atro. Hey, Lewis. How am I upgrading gems instantly? With a mod. In short, I use the Auto Easy Happy UI and I just click max level. And then I just move on to one gem to the next, to the next, to the next, making darn sure that I craft down all of my gem sparks into dust. I've got other videos that kind of explain the process of what we're doing right here anyways, but instantly leveling them up, yeah, that's a video that's already scheduled for while I'm away. So I'm sorry that it's such a piping hot question. That's gonna be dragged out, but whatever. No, I just crafted down right now, Atro. Because even looking at the first gems here, they're only level 25. Hey, Naxi, thanks for the tier 3. Let's get it. Appreciate you, man. That'll help buy me ramen while I'm on my trip. Oh, I crashed the server. Oh, well. You think I'll get 55k PR with total 570 mastery? I don't think so. I don't know if it's necessarily because of your mastery, but the amount of items that you have accumulated is going to be tied to your mastery. So I would just lean on the side of saying no, just because you probably don't have enough dragons. But you could, like, it's possible, just good luck. Why did some of these just suddenly in my inventory? Oh, it was a lie. I see. Cool. But maybe you have some weird tomfoolery trick. I have no idea. Hey, Turbo. Hey, where is? Yeah, the other thing too, I've been slowly chipping away at some of those Next Fest games here and there. I don't know if I'm even gonna bother having like a summary of Next Fest games, because I mean, they're like, I've played some cool games here and there, but nothing that's like, oh my god, guys, I gotta show you this. At least not yet. Oh my god. Whoa, okay. That wasn't even a disconnect. That was a hard crash. So yeah, there's some problems with this mod. Oh, you got like 70% of the dragons? Okay, yeah, then maybe you'll be able to do it. No, the gem mod crashes if you go too fast. No, I know. But the thing is, like, I've always had it where it just crashes the world and it says, like, disconnected, retry. That was the first time it actually just crashed for me, is all I'm saying. Doesn't matter, it was the same result. Problem is, they still haven't fixed those cosmic gems. And you know what else is weird? They still haven't sent out their Trove newsletter, have they? Like for this month? I don't think they bothered yet. Oh, hey, what the heck? They did make a post yesterday that I didn't see, which is saying, which classes do you feel are underpowered and less enjoyable to play, and what changes would you like to see for them? And there's a survey. Hell yeah, brother. All right, I'll fill that out later. That could be fun for us to do together. Sorry, I'm just checking their Discord if there was anything else, which it doesn't seem like so. But yeah, I didn't know about that, so that's good to know. Boomer with bow or sword? Probably sword, I would think. Yeah, I actually just saw the, like I literally just saw that Atro. Nobody told me about it, and I've been really out of the loop lately. In my opinion, Boomer's underpowered. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, he's so underpowered. All right. How much did we get out of that? Ooh. Ooh. Not bad. Yeah, sorry, the Atro gave the proper answer. My brain is dead. All right, we might be able to do this. Maybe not. Right, we still need these. 2, 4, 6. All right. Let's just make 100 of these for now, because I gotta be cautious with not overexpending all my dust. 100 of those. I don't know if Shadowhunter, like, a damage buff would be a nice, like, I think Shadowhunter's underpowered right now, genuinely. But I don't know whether or not, like, a damage buff would be nice. I would like them to change a mechanic and make it so that his shots just phase through enemies even with the class gem. Because then at least he wouldn't get stuck with single target issues. But I would also just take damage. That would be nice. All right. Sorry, I'm getting a little confused here. Only 2? Why only 2? Because the fire? How many can I make? Only 5. Because the cosmic? Yes. How many cosmic can I still make? Oh, okay, we're good. We might be able to max our gems right here. Doubt it. But it would be nice. I only need 1 more of these, technically, if I get lucky. How many of these can I make? Yeah, that's pushing it. That's a little bit better. So maybe we're grinding Water World. Depends if I have one of my gems fail, then that's gonna really suck. Come on, baby. Oh, it was at 32. I don't know why I thought it was already at like 33 or 34. Why always on the final level? Huh? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna still be bottlenecked by the Cosmic long term. Because I'm gonna need 6 of those, which means my Cosmic is gonna be severely lacking. All right, let's push it so that I have like 100 left. I still might be able to max out 1 gem. That I can't anymore. That I can't anymore. That I got plenty. Ugh. All right. God, that's so... Air and water. Hey, Bobby. That's frustrating, man. Stupid gems. Dear devs. Bad. Bad devs. Hello, enemy. Please die faster. Stupid, dumb hit detection. There we go. Ah, that's so lame. That makes me sad. Not really, but anyway. Technically a 1 in 125 chance that you fail 2/10 lives back to back on the last level of an empowered gem. Yep, because I've had that happen, so that's funny, actually. But that's the odds. Never tell me the odds. That's like a Star Wars thing, right? Right, guys? Is Star Wars relevant? No? Oh. Not since Disney took it? Sad. I need to get rid of gems and go back to gear score. Sure. I'm okay with the gems. I do like I have been very clear about the fact that I also do think it's very lazy. I mean, gear score in general is just such a lame development cycle for like video games. I understand the need for it because it's way too expensive and time consuming to have the alternative, which would be, you know, meaningful content, but no, well. Get out of the way. I can't see. See, like that right there. Going back to the idea of the Shadow Hunter shooting through enemies, I would have killed that boss a bit faster just because his little ads are getting in the way of my shots. But this damage is still absolutely pathetic. I should probably make a short video just letting people know about that survey, if I'm being honest, because, I mean, it's buried in their Discord. But I'm glad that they're taking feedback. Last time they did that, we got some amazing buffs. Granted, it's probably gonna take like until I'm back from my trip for them to make the effects, but actually it's probably gonna take longer than that. Hey Coco, do you know how to change it so Superior Loot Collector doesn't auto-lock Stellar and below? I think you have to get the other mod. There's a Superior Loot Collector Advanced that'll have everything unlocked up to Crystal 3, I think. But unfortunately, that mod is out of date, and the modder is gone. So, unfortunately, for a lot of us, we've been stuck using... stuck. In my case, I'm stuck using the obscure loot collector. I don't really like it myself, but at the very least, it's customizable, albeit way too confusing for me. At the end of the survey, it says, see you on PTS soon. Sick. Sick. Let's go, dude. I'm gonna be away! Well, at least I'll get to come back and see something exciting. Imagine it's the new class. Oops. Scyushi can't cover it. I'll just tell them, hey, can you delay it till I'm back? When are we getting the ability to loot collect crystal gems? In the base game, I've talked with them about it. I don't know if when it'll get implemented, but it sounded like they were pretty convinced. And by pretty convinced, I mean, I literally just tell my guy, hey, can you tell the devs this? And then he just kind of relays it to them, and then we just see what happens. Hope. Because no, I know. It's not even the crystal gems. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But they really need to just give us the base ability to change the loot collector. Like, we need to just be able to tick a box that, like, has lock this gear automatically kind of thing. Because it's bad. The fact that these mods are mandatory, because otherwise you're wasting so much of your time. Same with gem swapping too, which I talked with them about that idea as well. Yeah, sorry, Atro did correct me, that's right. Crystal gems do auto unlock. They did change that. So, my bad. But I do still think that we need the option. Because there's very specific things that I want to just loot collect instead of having to unlock them all the time. Hey Sky, do Massive class gems drop? Yes. Spent over 20 keys. Are you in Everdark 9 or whatever it's called now? 12? In which case, yeah, it's just that rare. I would probably still recommend that you just go for a crystal gem and then upgrade it, because it's gonna be... I don't know if it's like cheaper per se, but like, I just personally would think that that would be the better option myself. Delve standard. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that should just auto unlock, being honest. But that's the thing, like, just give us the option. If they figured out Fluxion, that scam artist, that's probably the most complex system they ever added into the game. That and the taxes update. So they can do it. They can give us a better loot collector. I've heard a Mystic Class Gem is an average 1 in 7. Yeah, but you gotta remember that Trove's RNG is just 100% RNG. It's not like, oh, you'll eventually get lucky and actually get it. Like, no, you can be wrong like hundreds of times. And 1 in 7 does not sound accurate to me, based on what I've heard. I am dreading when I'm gonna do it for whatever the new class is. If they ever add a new class. Sorry, when. I'm coming, dude. Don't worry. I'm here. You can kill everything now. Gotcha, idiot. I got mine in 3 keys. Nice. Yeah, you got insanely lucky, my man. I've heard some people, I think somebody opened like 50 and didn't get one, so. Shadowhunter's still viable for D15. I mean, when you get strong enough, everything is viable, but arguably, meh. I'm just kind of using him because I'm lazy and I'm just like in recovery mode right now from all the work that I was doing to stock up videos while I'm away on my trip. But they have a survey right now that we'll probably end up doing on stream just for fun, asking about like what classes need a buff and stuff like that. And I think a lot of us can agree that Shadowhunter definitely needs a buff. Because Shadowhunter is great everywhere but D15. And I've talked about this extensively, but the long short of it is, that's the key word today, is that when you end up getting into D15, the enemies are just so powerful that this is basically like doing a delve. And Shadowhunter really lacks the power and the oomph to end up doing delves efficiently compared to other classes. He's got the movement speed to travel from dungeon to dungeon perfectly fine. And I mean, my damage is okay, but if I was using like, when I was using my Solarian or when I was using Candy Barb and stuff like that, like it just, everything's dead. Shadowhunter's biggest problem is that his trap is kind of his only area of effect damage. And unfortunately, it just doesn't have the damage in here. So it's like, okay. Hey, Teach. They should allow people to reroll stats on Mystic Rings. Yeah. I thought for a second you meant the, whoops, I got the wrong wings. I thought you meant the effect, in which case I would agree on both, actually. Well, maybe not the effect, because I like re-rolling the rings. I get it. They're adding value to them, and this way, like, people are rolling them constantly and just getting more and more and more. So I don't know if that's necessary. I think it'd be a nice quality of life pass for sure, but just as far as like the video game grind is concerned, I don't know if we need to be able to re-roll it. Hot take. Where are my stupid terror squid wings? Whee! Alright, fine. You're gonna speedrun dungeons and not actually play team? Then stop following me, guys. Are there Mystic Rings? No. No. They're inevitable. We know that they are. But want to come to the game? I'm 26k Dino Tamer. What class should I switch to first thing I should do? Why would you want to switch class? What do you mean? Play the class that you enjoy. Literally, like, I have a video scheduled for while I'm like on my trip that you guys are gonna see in a couple weeks. But I'll spoil it right now in saying that every class is viable up into the end game. The end game is the only area that classes start really dropping off and suffering. Otherwise, if you're in D13, even D14, you can still pretty much just get away with anything. It's just the D15 enemies scale so ridiculously. So, if you're still enjoying Dino Tamer, just keep using Dino Tamer, my man. No need to swap. Hello, worm. But yeah, Mystic Rings and Mystic Banners, I think they're inevitable at this point. Hey, Grim. Hey, Somnia. Is Gem Day more effective on Primordial or Geode worlds? Huh? Oh, no. So, does it affect Prime worlds? If it does affect Prime Worlds, it's irrelevant because Prime Worlds unfortunately don't drop gem boxes every dungeon. I did tell the devs about that because there's no logical reason why it doesn't drop every dungeon. Just one of those stupid Trove things. And then unfortunately, Cosmic Gems, no, it doesn't affect Geode right now. It's a, I would argue it's a very, very big bug that they should be prioritizing instead of putting the PTS server back on. Because it makes Gem Day is worthless if you're just trying to get Cosmic Gems, and it means that Cosmic Gems are gonna take like twice as long to grind. That's why I'm just not touching Cosmic World until they fix it, which means that I probably won't end up maxing out my gems in a very long time, because it literally depends on when they decide to finally go boop and fix whatever little line of code is broken. Because let's be real, there's no way that it's like that big of an issue that they can't just like fix it in a night. Well, I say that, but I mean, you know, Trove, spaghetti code. So it might be a bigger issue or related to some other issue. Who knows? How's this for like feedback? Hey guys, how about you like lower the block damage of dungeons again to the way it used to be? Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted dungeons to take longer to blast into. Like one jackass asked for it and they're like, yeah, we'll accommodate you over the masses. Which is kind of a very good summary of everything wrong with this game. How much slate is needed to farm P15 easily? Again, that really depends on the class. You need like at least 11.1k to even deal damage and kill things as far as my understanding. So above that, I'd say maybe like 12k at least, then you'll be killing things. Then you can kind of use every class, but even for me right now, like I'm over 12k and it takes a little while for me to kill these things. But that's because I'm a shadow hunter, so. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Let us all in, stupid dungeons. But again, once you get strong enough, you can kind of just use anything. So. Thanks for coming outside, idiot. But again, it really depends on the class. Because if I literally just take all my gear right now and swap it onto Boomer, for example, I'm just better. Shadowhunter ult is useless, kinda. Well, the funny thing is Shadowhunter ult actually does do a pretty good heap of damage, but it's just so fundamentally broken in its function that it just doesn't work. I wish it was something that we would just toggle on the same as a gunslinger ult. Because holding the button down, there's no ability in the game that works properly with that. And it's frustrating because that's technically where all the Shadowhunter's damage is. Like when I was farming Leviathans, that's what you would use to kill bosses. And it was all right. You know, not great compared to the other boss killers. Like the ult's got the, if we could consistently use our ult and it didn't bug out all the damn time, that would actually be great for fixing Shadowhunter at the end game. I still think he needs a little light bump, but most of all just with his base attack. But I'm also greedy, and I want to be able to main this class no matter what. I know I promised you guys I would end up maining some magic classes and stuff, and I'm not saying that I won't try alternate classes. But for right now, this is... I don't know if I've ever seen this version. Oh no, I just never came over to that corner because that wasn't a real boss. Anyway, I was just gonna say, like, I plan on doing other classes, but I never got around to it. What can I say? Oh, I gotta craft a key. Oh well. And now I'm in recovery mode. Yeah, if his base shots would shoot through enemies, or if there was a slight area of effect on them, I think that would suffice. Like Shadowhunter's kind of like the thing that's dumb about him right now is it's a quick fix. He doesn't need much. He's not like some of the other classes. Like I think Bard just needs like a huge damage buff across the board. Gem Day does affect Prime Worlds. Okay, so it does. I was curious if it did. So it's still gonna make more boxes drop. It's just the fact that, you know, those boxes don't drop every dungeon. Okay. Prime D15 also has a chance to drop 2 boxes from one dungeon even outside of Gem Day, but also has a chance for it to drop 0. Yes, and I completely think that that should be scrapped. I don't know why they did that in the first place, because it makes the Prime Worlds worthless. And I mean, isn't the whole point of a Prime World that you're not farming for a specific elemental type? Because I'd love to be doing Prime Worlds, it's funner. The thing is, I'm not against these elemental worlds, but since the devs like never bothered expanding upon these worlds, it's just the same stupid islands over and over again. Like if they would change the generation so that it was like, oh, there's a little desert island or something, you know, like just a little bit to vary it up. But no, most of the biomes are over in the friggin' Prime Worlds. Are you a boss? Are you a boss? I can't tell who's a boss. I saw that chest, but... Look, guys, I'm using my ult. Oh, wow, it actually worked. See that big chonker damage? Whee! Can I craft keys here? No, I can't. Of course I can't. That would make too much sense. Oh, this game. I love this game, but oh my god. So many little things, man. Oh. Well, at least this still works on these guys. Thank you. I'll leave my gas there so you can remember me. How much life do I have? I don't know. 12.7 when that's probably with Berserk triggered? No? Oh, maybe it's before Berserk. $13.5 I saw. Cool. I totally meant to go into that portal. Yep. Mm-hmm. Whee. Stop. See, it's so annoying when it takes them to one hit. Like, just kill him, dude. The heck is that? Oh, it's a ship. It's just generated weird. Well, we'll at least go to 200 boxes for this. We'll see how many boxes we go for in the light world. Or air world, sorry. But again, I want to do that survey. Because I also want to get, like... I want to do the survey with you guys, because then we can kind of all discuss it. I don't think I'm being biased when I say Shadowhunter needs a little bit of a buff. Surely. Yeah, no, he needs it. Not because he's my main. I think him, well, we'll get into it when we end up going to the survey. Was it this one? Yeah. I'm coming, bro. Oh, I wish I could still just blast through that with a single bomb. That was so fun. I remember years and years of just going down there and thinking it was so cool because I discovered that entrance all by my lonesome. Back when the dungeons were actually like kind of fun to explore and you didn't just blast your way into all of them for efficiency's sake. They should just, bro, they should just make the end game world not have like dungeons underground anymore. Like why, who are we kidding? Why do we even have the bomb economy? Just have all of them be like cornerstones. They can have like a big fancy statue or something. I don't care. But that'd be so fun just for efficiency's sake. Or, you know, if Luxian World was like a normal adventure world and instead we had just a crap ton of elite mobs. Don't even bother with dungeons. But I'm also a freak who... I can acknowledge that I'm a freak who would just like grinding that. I don't think anyone else would. They should at least make the arrows go through all enemies instead of single target. Well, the funny thing is because without the class gem, his arrows do shoot through enemies. But that's what I think as well, because that would already rectify... I mean, his damage wouldn't be great. Like, it still kind of sucks. As you can see, I can't one-shot them with my traps. Just needs just a little bit more. I'm fine using potions, but when I'm using a potion and bursting down an enemy with a Gatling gun, and they're just still standing in my face... But again, if I could shoot through enemies, honestly, that would probably already rectify it. And then the damage wouldn't matter that much. I don't know. Devs responded to Spooky finally about his dungeon designs. They were submitted in limbo for months. Yeah, I know. He kept mentioning that, but I didn't hear the follow-up. Did they get accepted, you mean? Because dope. I totally understand why though, because I've talked about this before, but Trove's one of those weird games where I swear, like, I don't know how the game's designed or anything like that, but just based on my experience with this game over the years, I'm pretty sure there's a limited amount of dungeons that they can even have in the game. Maybe it's got to do with the file size of the game, or maybe the biomes can only generate like 10 dungeons, 10 different types. I don't know. But my point being is, have you ever noticed over the years they'll end up adding one dungeon and then removing another? And then the irony is they end up keeping like all the old school dungeons. And they don't end up adding in the new ones. But I think that's why they just sit there in limbo for so long, is because like they gotta, you know, figure out, oh, which one do we get rid of? What's the flavor of the month? It's all just based on my own speculation. I don't know if that's actually like how it works. But that's what it feels like. Because there was a lot of dungeons that I still like... I don't remember them vividly, but I still remember they were like really cool. Like there was one Fey dungeon that had like a bunch of totem poles or something. And that one just got removed, unfortunately. And I remember that was a really good 3-star. Would I like it now? I don't know. But no, they kept the rainbow tree. Never liked that one. Go, bro, go. None of his dungeons got straight up accepted, but at least got acknowledged with a maybe. Ah, okay. So they probably don't need more dungeons right now is why. Or the other thing that the devs might be doing is anytime a dungeon gets accepted, they end up adding like a bunch of credits to the creator. So maybe they're trying to avoid giving him too much. I don't know. I'm I'm at 50.7 KPR and I'm just having trouble getting essences. Yes. That sounds about right. Okay. Well, before we do the next world, let's take a break and let's take a look at that survey. Let me see. Here we go. App. Make sure my face cam isn't blocking it for you guys. Okay, I'll probably end up recording this separately as well. Why? Oh, okay. So there's actually a Trove survey going on right now. And they said in their Discord, let me just grab this really quick. I'm recording this while I'm live streaming. But they say that which classes do you feel are underpowered or less enjoyable to play? And what changes would you like to see for them? So we're going to end up going into this together on the stream. Sorry, guys, I'm having some technical issues here. There we go. Okay. Oh, it says it right there. Okay. So which up to 5 classes do you feel are the most need of changes or buffs? Knight 100% needs changes. I don't think that he needs buffs, but he needs an overhaul post haste because right now his gameplay is hold left click and that's it. His other abilities are pretty worthless. His number one, when you end up using overcharge, his class gem ability does give him a movement speed buff, which is nice, but generally speaking, I think that they did a really good job when they overhauled a lot of the classes a couple years ago. So all of their abilities are useful and you kind of synergize by using all of them. But Knight is just, he's pathetic right now. He's just left click. Gunslinger's powerful right now and great. Whoa. It is having a real hard time on this page for me. Good Lord. Maybe don't use Microsoft, guys. Fade Trickster probably needs changes. I don't care. I'm sorry. Draco just got a buff, so he's good. Neon Ninja's good. Candy Barb's good. Ice Age is still good for delves, not necessarily good for not as good for speed farming, but I've seen people use it with proper success. Shadowhunter needs just a little bit of tweaking, not as much as the Knight. Pirate Captain. I'd be curious about that one. I wonder what Pirate Mains would say. He did get buffed, so he's got an extra turret, but it doesn't really do that much damage, and the turrets, if they shot through enemies or if they had an AoE explosion or something, he's still really powerful when you pop down his ult, though. So maybe he doesn't need a tweak. Lancer definitely needs fixed. Like, Jesus. He's so stupid right now. Like, oh my God. Yeah, if Gunslinger ended up gaining a movement speed buff, that would be nice. But generally speaking, for the classes that just don't have movement speed, you can kind of just use the wings or the flight or something. I don't know. But I'm going to just go through these and kind of, we'll see. Floromancer, yes. Oh my God. Dino Tamer probably just needs some slight changes because of his block stat being so low. And then Bard, I hear a lot of complaints. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's my 5, unfortunately. I picked Knight, Draco. I can see Draco needing changes. Candy Barb. What would Candy Barb need? I'm just curious. Pirate Captain, yeah, I could see Pirate Captain needing changes. And Tomb Raiser for sure, because he's not at the point that I'm happy with him right now. You know what? Yeah, I mean, as much as like Chloromancer, oh yeah, it definitely needs work. I don't really care. This is for me to give my survey feedback rather than like just taking a generalization. But I'm just trying to think like what I would change with the Pirate Captain if I did pick him. And Gunslinger just needs a movement buff, which isn't like super major. Neo Ninja needs a big buff for his shuriken. Damage is weak right now. No, he doesn't need a buff. You just need to start using your ult. So many people are not used to using the Neo Ninja's ult, but it does a lot of damage. I think Candy Bar could do with some mechanic tweaks. Not so much buffs, but kind of... Oh, yeah. De-awkward this gameplay. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I mean, arguably, there's a lot of classes that need that. Yeah, let me... I have a soft spot for Pyro Captain, but I feel like he just needs work. I don't know what work is the thing. You know what? Revenant. Because his right click sucks. Specific feedback on how each class that you selected should be buffed. Oh, dear Lord. Okay. Typos. All right. Well, there's Knight. Who else did we pick? Shadowhunter. Yeah. That'll probably confuse them. Let's see. Yeah, excuse me, guys. We're just sitting here typing. I'm assuming you can read it. So, Tomb Raiser. Tomb Raiser is gonna be a tough one because maybe. I mean, the other thing too. I personally, this is just a personal gripe. I hate the fact that the minions are on a time limit. That would be that'd be a good fix. I don't know. Lancer. Oh my god. Yeah, sorry. The survey is in their Discord and like the announcements. I don't have the link handy, so I can't give it to you. I'm sorry. Just because right now I'm in the survey, so yeah. You know what? Maybe I can just grab it from their Discord. Sorry, one sec. Hopefully it doesn't mess everything up. Ugh, what a terrible URL. It's so gross. I'll pin it in the YouTube chat, but we'll see if it actually, like, you know, grabs it properly. Anyway, Lunar Lancer needs a damage buff, but the big problem is the ultimate. Yeah, Vanguard for ranged mode for sure, but unfortunately we can only pick 5 classes, and I think that Vanguard at the point right now, his melee is good enough. If it was up to me, I would just be tearing apart all the classes, because they all need like slight tweaks and changes. But for right now, because we can only pick 5, I'm picking the most egregious. Like, I don't really main Lancer, but he's got like a lot of problems. Like, there's the argument, the ultimate for the Vanguard, if the ranged mode was actually good, yeah, sure, people would probably use it, but that's not, you know, as far as melee is concerned, he's already strong enough anyway. Revenant. Okay. Revenant is in a very strange place right now. Like an overall quality sweep, I think would be really good. I mean, obviously they're gonna just take all of our feedback and kind of probably compartmentalize it and see how many people are complaining about this, how many people are talking about this, you know. The Revenant is balanced, but my main issue is his playstyle is just so boring. Like, he's got good damage, but you just toggle on your spirit spears and then you just left click, and that's it. So I think that he needs to be changed a little bit so that his shield was actually like effective. I'll just do it as an overall notes as well. I think every ability should be affected by attack speed. Sorry, let me clarify. Every ability animation. Some stuff, like drinking flasks. Yeah, no, we won't get into that because then they're gonna get too confused. Take, for example, how Neon Ninja bomb throw animation is affected by attack speed. Okay, Lancer. Who else did we choose? Revenant, I already did. Yeah. I guess that's it, huh? That's all I can do. Like, I'd love to get into all of them. I mean, I'll leave the feedback for you guys as to where they're at right now. Again, Knight is powerful, but his gameplay is just holding left click. Gunslinger's only issue is his speed. He's got the damage. Fey Trickster, I don't think he's fun. I think that his Fey Bomb and stuff could use a little bit of work. I don't see many people using him that much at the end game. Draco's okay. He hasn't changed since I started playing the game, so that's kind of disappointing, but whatever. Overall, he's fine. Neon Ninja is a lot more powerful than most people think. I wish that we would get the movement speed boost by flipping forward instead of flipping backwards like an idiot, but whatever. He's technical and weird. A lot of people constantly think that he's got low damage, but they forget that his ult got reworked a couple years ago and he's very powerful. Atro, I completely agree that the candy bar, like, he doesn't really need a buff or anything. He's extremely powerful. He's also extremely fast. But there's a lot of little issues that he has just with his animations and his functionality. Like, when I was maining him, a couple weeks back and doing the spin to win build, just a little thing that bothered me was every time he did his spin animation, it wouldn't seamlessly go into another spin animation. It would just repeat the animation awkwardly over and over. And that's kind of the thing that plagues the Barb, like, overall. Ice Sage, I'm gonna be real, I didn't like him since his rework. I know that a lot of people found it to be like a lot more powerful, but I still preferred it when his ult was just freezing everything and when you would toggle your shield on and just have nice movement speed. There, I said it. Shadowhunter, again, we already know needs a tweak, just not much. Pirate Captain, honestly, I'd want his turrets to be fixed. Like, his ult is a lot of damage, but granted, you gotta throw down like a bunch of them in order to kill things fast because unfortunately, his turrets are too dumb. They don't actually like target like proper things. I know that they made it so that, they target what you're shooting at. And it's like, yeah, but I'm shooting in a cone in front of me. Like, it just, Pirate Captain is one of those classes. I don't know how they would fix it. I feel like it would be a lot more complicated than it should be. You know, like, he would need to be able to have a ability where you would just target an enemy or maybe make it so that when you throw down your number one ability, maybe your turrets target that and otherwise it's invincible. And then it causes a chain reaction explosion. I don't know. Boomer is kind of just all around one of the best right now. I still think he could use some tweaking, but generally speaking, he's fine. Tomb Raiser kind of sucks. There, I said it. Most of all because at the moment, he has this mechanic that I really hate with him. I mean, if I really dig deep, I've always hated the Tomb Raiser. Like, I love the Tomb Raiser as an idea, and I loved maining him when I did years ago. But I always found it really annoying that his minions like just are on a time limit because that's just the polar opposite of the effect that you should have as a summoner. I think that the minions should just be out constantly, honestly, and either get killed by enemies. And so that's why you summon more of them, or frankly speaking, just have them out at all times and just change his abilities overall to be maybe like maybe you'd use your right click would make all of your minions do something instead of, I don't know, maybe it would transform them into damage or defense or something. I don't know. But at the moment right now, he's got this thing where you end up fighting a bunch of enemies and summoning your babies, and then you end up summoning them all, and then you end up summoning them again so they get a purple health bar, and then you summon your ultimate so it has a purple health bar. Then you summon more babies again so that they all have purple health bar, including your ultimate. And only then is he at his maximum damage output. And it's stupid because it takes like 15 years for him to do something that every other class already just does, which is kill things. Lunar Lancer, I think his abilities are fine. He is probably one of the clunkiest classes in the game right now. Anyone who's played him, like his right click, it works, yeah, but he still stops on a dime to cast it instead of just moving with momentum, which I know would be too hard for them to code because then it would have to take into account where you're moving when you shoot your Lancer, like, you know, your hook shot or whatever. So whatever, but his number one ability barely ever works. His ult, literally you have to go back into an idle stance before you can use a flask. if you're in the middle of an attack animation, you can't drink a flask with your ult on Lunar Lancer, and that's been a bug in the game for a very long time. Revenant, again, I most of all just think he needs to be flipped in terms of his mechanics, but generally speaking, he's got the damage. Chloromancer, just, I feel for Chloromains right now. It was one of the best for the boss killers, and you could still do kind of tricks, but you gotta know how to do the tricks in order to make the class really viable. I think that instead of healing, it should be focused on buffing people with either damage buff or, God forbid, a movement speed buff, because then it would actually be like a fun class. Dino Tamer, he's okay. He's fine. Again, like I said, the problem with Dino Tamer is that he really falls off at the end game. A lot of it's got to do with his lack of proper stats to have block. So he doesn't get enough combat block that he's not really viable in Delves, which sucks because he's got the damage and he's also got the movement speed. Vanguard, as you guys pointed out, the ranged mode is garbage, but using melee, he's actually really fun and very powerful. Granted, you are spamming your laser. The rest of your abilities are worthless. And, you know, we kind of already complained about the Knight for that same issue. Bard, I just don't like. Right now, though, I think it's mechanically fine. You use all of its abilities very effectively. So it's got nice synergy between all the skills, but it sucks for damage. It's not good. Solarian, still fantastic single target. If there's one thing I'd pick apart with Solarian, it's that there's clearly a bug with its basic attack, that it has hit registration issues. I don't know why. None of the Era classes have that issue, or at least not as much. I mean, Dino Tamer still gets stuck in its ult animation sometime, and so does Pirate Captain. Because, yeah, that's okay. Let's never fix an issue from the beta version of the game. But Solarian, outside of movement speed, he's fine. Anyways, that's my feedback. But I think I just messed up because I should have just double checked my reading on that. But anyway, yeah. Back to the grind. What about Neo Ninja? I talked about it. Neo Ninja is good. He just needs to be able to flip forward instead of backflip, in my opinion. Because he's got a lot of damage with his ult and so on. Anyways, thank you for indulging me, guys. Excuse me for my rants. But I thought if there was an opportunity to talk about where all the classes stand right now, and keep in mind, this is most of all talking from the end game. Everywhere else in the game, it doesn't really matter that much, if I'm being honest. Because the enemies are just so ungodly weak. But that's kind of where they're all at, in my opinion. Ideally, they would all need changes. Subtle as some of them might be. They just need a nice, clear pass on everything. I mean, the fact that they're taking feedback is awesome. So. Oh, I should have taken the opportunity to explain some of the bugs with the classes. I mean, who are we kidding? My survey is going to get buried with everyone else's, and they're probably just going to end up using AI to summarize everything. That's what I would do. I'm not going to read all that crap. Plus, they don't know who it's from or anything, so. Hello? Is it? Oh, my God. Don't have a dungeon with a flower if the enemies are just going to fall off of it. Thank you. But that's the thing, man. Like, you know, people still kind of dog on all the classes as a whole. And it's like, they're all fine. And I mean, so long as you get them strong enough, you can still main everything. And I'm by no means saying that, like, oh, we shouldn't have certain classes better at certain functions. But again, because the end game enemies are just so ridiculously tanky, again, it throws all of this into the same category as Delves. And so classes that aren't good at Delves, no surprise, aren't good at D15. Let's be real. Do the classes need an overhaul, or does the end game need changed? Like, Like, I think these enemies just need a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a nerf, you know? Or better yet, I know this will make some end gamers mad. Change Mystic Gear so it's easier to obtain, because then if more people can get it, we have less issues with the balancing of these classes if we can just one-shot everything. But oh wait, it doesn't mean that certain classes aren't still going to be more efficient than others. That's the main issue, is just the efficiency. Like, I personally think every class should have an overhaul to the point where they have movement speed somehow in their kit. Has the game been lagging for you lately? No. I haven't had the issue since the server migration. I might rubber band like once a week. Also, hi Twitchy. Sorry I didn't say hello. And hi Breeze and anyone else who might be lurking. Yes, let's go up. You got the right idea. Trove's unplayable for me right now since a couple of days ago. I don't know what could be causing it. Is it just your internet in general? I know that that's like kind of the obvious, like, stupid Microsoft tech support answer, but because the fact that you're rubber banding is odd, unless I know. Well, you weren't having this issue before, right? You sure you don't got someone in your house downloading a bunch of torrents? Sorry, I'm joking. But like my point that I'm trying to get at is you didn't have lag before a couple days ago, right? Like, you actually were positively affected by the server migration. The only reason I ask is because I've heard some people that didn't actually have any change with the server migration, probably because of their real life region. Hey Marlon. Yeah, it's right there. Haven't even crashed since server migration. I still crash sometimes. Not often, but I do still crash. Granted, I got a lot of crap going on behind the scenes with like streaming, recording clips, and you know, I keep my browser open with like 100 tabs, and I don't use the throttling of it either, so. I was having a lot of issues, like you guys might have noticed. I most definitely noticed, like I'm still not getting like steady 60 frames in Trove in these worlds, because that's just how this game works. It's unoptimized, but it's definitely a lot smoother tonight. And the reason for that is because I found out, I did some digging with Windows 11, and I found out, oh boy, there's a lot of stupid things going on in the background of this like god-awful OS. Like Game Booster and all this other crap that I never opted into is just suddenly there. I guess we'll go here. So I had to like just go through the registry and start cleaning a lot of that stuff up. And generally it seems like it's functioning a lot better. Still not perfect, still not as good as my beloved Windows 10. But hey. Oh, you got like super download and upload speeds and stuff. Yeah. So I would just do a speed test. Otherwise, yeah, if you're testing and you see that your internet is still doing just fine, like the only reason I'm asking if it's your internet is because sometimes, like for me, even though I'm paying out the wazoo for my internet speeds, one of my favorite things that I'm paying for with my internet is for them to just randomly like restart my router or throttle me during like the off hours when they're doing maintenance that I didn't ask for. That's my favorite part of paying for internet service, is when I don't have internet service, the very thing that I'm paying for. Could be a driver update. For rubber banding, no. Like if you were getting like frame issues or something like that, then maybe. But again, like if you just do, I think it's speedtest.net. If you just use that, that'll give you a pretty accurate, like what's going on with your upload and download. One thing that I wonder, so one thing that could be happening, highly doubtful, but this is an issue that I randomly ran into, is if your computer randomly swapped your, what was it called? I think it's the ISP4. Is that what it's called? Like I had it at one point where it randomly toggled that like on or off or whatever the bad option is. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But when I ended up like doing some digging and then I found out like what the hell happened, and then I just toggled it back and it was like, oh, that instantly fixed my internet. Again, I don't know if that's like what your issue would be or even related to your issue. It's just a very, very obtuse problem that I ran into out of nowhere, and I don't know why it was there, but it took like a long time to dig it out. So if it's not that, well, good. But I'd be kicking myself if I didn't mention it. Wonder if the tumors or skellies doing AoE damage every time they die could be a buff worthwhile. I think so. That's what I was kind of thinking as well, is maybe your skelly babies constantly spawn on their own and your right click could explode them. Part of me as a necromancer main from like every other video game, part of me hates that because that's basically corpse explosion, which once again goes against like fun as far as being a summoner class. But I did think about that with Trove as well. I thought that would kind of work. Sounds like something out of PoE. Actually, it's from Diablo, because PoE just kind of did what was it? What's that word? Plagiarism. That's it. Don't get me wrong. I like PoE 2. I played PoE 1, although it wasn't my favorite. But oh my god, with PoE 1, it's a lot less egregious. With PoE 2, it's like, bro, why do you have mechanics from Diablo 2? That game's 25 years old. Grow up. Just add your own stuff. Path of Exile 1 is already the spiritual successor to Diablo 2. Why is Path of Exile 2 more of the same? And runs like garbage. That's the main reason I didn't even bother going back with this new season, like the Act 4 and everything. It runs like poop. One of the most worst optimized games I've ever played. So I'm just gonna wait for PoE 2 to go to 1.0. And if it's still bad by then, I mean, that sucks. But right now, I can wait. If there's one thing I've learned through my limited time being a parent, it's my patience leveling up like crazy. Which is a big deal for me because I personally hate waiting for things. Patience was one of the things that like the wife always made fun of for me, because like I'll be sitting there and I would get mad like waiting for a red light. I still have no patience for idiots, but I don't want to go down that road because I know for a fact that I've been a little bit more tense, a little bit more negative than usual, and I chalk that up to just being overworked. But I'm coming back, guys. I'm coming back. It was really cathartic for me to finish up my gym video the other day. Finally, I felt really good about that. That really helped with my mental well-being to actually do a project that I care about instead of slowly die inside playing this video game. I'm kidding, I still love Trove. For a night rework, add a damage buff to the knight's ult would be cool. Yeah, like things like that. Like here's the thing. I could talk the talk and say like a lot of classes could just end up buffing other people, like how I was saying Chloromancer giving classes a movement speed boost. It'd be cool because it would synergize and it would end up making everybody stronger. Even, you know, Knight having an ult that would buff his teammates. But you run the risk with Trove, like you run the risk of the class suddenly becoming required. And that's like, in my opinion, that's not like the strength of Trove. The strength of Trove is that everything's kind of like, just do what you feel like, bro. You know? And I mean, obviously there's gonna be meta slaves, but if it got to the point where it was like, oh, we need to have a Knight, like, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that always kills my momentum when I'm playing MMOs is when you get to that point in the late game dungeons where you need to have very specific class roles. And guess what? The most coveted one, healers and tanks, because nobody wants to play them because they're boring. And the only point that I'm getting at is Trove doesn't really have class roles or anything, and I feel like it would kind of do that if they started adding like too many mechanics to like buffs towards your allies and stuff. I'm not disagreeing that it shouldn't like that it couldn't work or that it couldn't be added to the game. Like the devs could do it, and I would just have to choke on my tongue and accept it. But for me personally, with the very weird way that I play this video game, I think they would have to just be very careful with it. That's all. Hey Orca, very happy to watch this stream. I'm approaching dungeons way too slowly compared to you. Yeah, there's a sneak peek of movement speed. That's the thing that I still love about Trove, man. The fact that every class, well, not every class, you kind of just move into movement speed. I do wish every class did have some sort of movement speed. Or if they had some stuff to compensate, like maybe we got combat block. How about we have a movement speed buff? Like, you know, something that you can only grab on certain classes that would scale with a specific stat. So that Solarian wouldn't be as slow as a grandma, you know? Stuff like that. But that'd be too overly complicated. Instead of just giving them some sort of movement speed buff. Which I should have mentioned in the survey that all the classes need some sort of movement speed buff. Anyway. Oh yeah, I think Knight needs to be changed. He doesn't need a buff per se, because he's actually insanely powerful at the end game. You just hold left click and everything dies. My issue is all you do is hold left click because his other abilities are just so weak that it doesn't matter. And I mean, you know what? I'd still rather hold left click than mash 1 like an idiot. I don't miss those days of the night. Oh, let's go over here. Figured out why it was auto-locking. First I had 6 loot collector mods. Oh. I won't even read the rest because, yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah, I did end up also repairing my Trove files, so maybe that's another big reason it's running better. Just switch to PC. What's the quickest way to power level? Just play the game. I mean, if you really want to be like super lazy, you can just wait for the weekend for XP day. And then do the daily quests inside the world. And then once you end up getting to the point where you can handle delves, it's some of the most best XP in the game. Albeit very boring. Have you played Final Fantasy XIV? No, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I hate tab targeting. If we had World of Warcraft with action combat, that would probably be my favorite game. Because I love grinding, but I love action combat. I hate tab targeting. So I've watched some friends play Final Fantasy 14 that no life id, and I love some of the end game boss mechanics and stuff. It's really freaking cool. It's just too bad that it's such a chore to play. Well, at least for me. Like, I know most people are used to it, but yeah, that's why I could never get into World of Warcraft. I tried. Give me an action game. Whoever just mashes one, honestly. Oh, no, I know. Atro. Draco, you're just mashing one as well. Draco, though, you're holding left click, you know, you're having dopamine with your babies exploding and stuff and setting fire to the world. My point is with the knight, he had that goofy, like, Mario jump that he would always do where his soul shoots out of him and it was just... lame. Play 60 FPS? Yeah. Which I'm assuming is a knock because, oh, why don't you play at higher FPS? Because I record and stream in 60 FPS because that's what YouTube is limited to. And so I like to have, I don't know, I don't need anything more than 60. I know 120 looks god tier and then everything after that just is slightly better, but most games don't run smoothly anyway, so who cares? Especially new games, they run like poop. Like Borderlands. Didn't that game die? I mean, well, sorry. There was a game journalist clickbait article that was talking about how Borderlands 4 lost 85% of its player base. And everyone was very quick to point out that it's like a single player game that has co-op. It's not an MMO. So obviously once people beat the game, they just move on. And it's like... Game journalist, this just in, water is wet. Am I right? Idiots, actual idiots. What a joke of a profession. Imagine like going to school to be like a writer and then suddenly like your boss is forcing you to do all this clickbait crap for the algorithm and just hits on your dumb website. Let's be real, most of them just throw it through an AI prompt, but... Oh, that was another thing I should have pointed out on the survey is how they should fix the dive, like the dodge roll of some classes so that it doesn't stop. The funny thing is, they talked about the knight doing that and said that they were gonna fix it, where he doesn't stop his momentum at the end of his dodge animation. Somebody should tell them that the Revenant does that too. Because, yes, please. I wanted to play more Borderlands, but I have a good PC and the game performance is trash. Yeah, that was the biggest issue I heard from a lot of people was that it's just not optimized for PC. That's kind of the unfortunate side effect with PC gaming nowadays. Like being an old school nerd as myself where I played Morrowind and all these other games. Like there was a very distinct difference between a PC game and like a console game. But nowadays there's just not as much of a distinction. And I don't know if that's just got to do with the limitation of like game developers and stuff. I think it's more so the The consequence of video games becoming so commercialized is that they've become a lot less risky and a lot less nerdy. And there's an ease of use. Quality of life has never been better in terms of like functionality of video games. But unfortunately, because video games sell so extremely, like so much more games sell on consoles. Most of all because PC gamers are pickier. And we know that things go on sale all the time. Plus, we have another method of playing games for free. Yarr. And unfortunately, it means when a game like Borderlands 4 comes out and people are like, the performance is crap on PC. I'm not surprised because it's optimized for consoles first. And they just throw it on PC to get some extra money. Look at Monster Hunter Wilds, bro. People are still to this day complaining about the PC performance, but Capcom keeps saying, it sold really well. We're surprised. Which is kind of a shocker because their other games are optimized extremely well. Resident Evil runs like a dream. But I guess it's because Monster Hunter is in a different engine. But anyway, saying that Borderlands 4 was still fun. I finished it 2 times. Nice, man. Yeah, lots of people were asking me about Borderlands 4. I don't care. Not my kind of game. I liked Borderlands 1. I played Borderlands 2. I refunded Borderlands 3. And it was just like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with this one. I'm happy that EA pulled out a winner with Battlefield, though. By actually, you know, what's that term? Working. And making a good video game. I'm not gonna buy it myself because I don't have time and I don't care for how sweaty that game was. Even though it's got bots, that's a pretty expensive game to play with bots. I'm fine just sitting in my corner, twiddling my thumbs, playing this one MMO game and the occasional Nintendo game. Although there is an indie game that I really want to play. I just need the extra time to play it. Oh my god. You ever played DC Universe? No. Around the time that all those other MMOs were coming and going, I was playing the first game that Nexon made. Their first MMO was called Nexus TK, Nexus the Kingdom of the Winds. And funny, it was called Nexus because it was the US server. Nexia was the Asian server, the Asia. Funny. Aha. But yeah, anyway, it was one of the first MMOs, and I got, like, that was it for me. I played that game for, ooh. Next to Trove, that was probably the game that I, like, played the longest. It felt longer because I was so young and I was growing up around then, and all of our friends were getting into the game and so on. But it was also a subscription fee, so. One of these days I want to end up doing a retrospective of it. Just because Nexus is one of those games, like, it's a 2D game, actually. Like, it's kind of top down and your camera angle's like this, but you, like, move around the environment left, right, up, down, not diagonally or anything. But it had one of the best games I've ever experienced in an MMO that I really, really wish more games would have. One of the big things was when you ended up getting max level, you would then get XP as a currency, and you could spend it to upgrade your health and mana. And by doing so, some of your abilities would scale off of a percentage of your health and mana. So you would essentially just make those abilities stronger. And it was infinite. The trick was that it costed more and more and more XP. And you could only carry, I think, like 4 bill XP at a time. And if you died, you lost all of it. But on top of that, the way that it handled endgame was just so elegant. Very similar-ish to Trove, wherein it was just like, there'd be all these different worlds, and then there would be higher tiers of them. But it did something better than Trove in that the balancing was a lot better. And the gameplay did evolve with certain endgame weapons and such. And when you would end up going to the higher tiers of, like, the Dragon World, for example, you could get different drops. That would end up being, like, actually game-changing. Instead of Trove where, you know, I mean, there are different drops, but not, like, in the traditional, like, RPG sense of, like, oh crap, I got the rare amulet. Hey, Miss Brett. I was actually just thinking about you today. I was thinking, oh man, still haven't messaged her. And now here I am, a couple of weeks away from my trip. I wish Realm of the Mad God had an option for no permadeath. Dude, me too. I love Realm of the Mad God's gameplay, but the permadeath is what kills it for me. Yeah. I love the style of the game too. Been overwhelmed by my classwork lately. Let's get it. I love being overwhelmed and burnt out. No, like even I was thinking like even though I was saying like, oh yeah, I should buy things from you. Like I just gotta get back to like the rhythm of talking with you, Miss Rhett, just because it's like, yeah, I like hearing life updates. Granted, I'm just so, you know, busy dad, so if I don't write things down, I just forget in 2 seconds. What were we talking about? I'm getting hungry. I think that's what we were talking about. I don't know if we'll push it to the 200 air boxes. I think... what time is it? Oh, we're past reset. That's why it's taking so much longer. I was wondering. I mean, you know, only for the past 5 minutes, but still, I noticed that my gems were slower. Anyway, I was gonna say, like, there's no way I'm leveling my gems today and doing all that crap again. But we can wrap up. So if you guys had any more questions before we head out. Otherwise, this will probably be the only video going up today because, you know, I need the extra time to do other stuff. Thankfully, the wife is off tomorrow, though, so I should be able to actually just chill on the couch right now, watch some TV, and relax for once. Anyways, I know nobody asked, what's that indie game you were talking about that you really want to play? So there's this game that has been on my radar for a very long time. And the only reason I'm bringing this up to you guys right now is because if you like spooky games, you should check out Darkwood. I just played the intro and oh my God, it might actually be one of the most atmospheric horror games I've ever played, strictly because their sound design is flawless. Like, no jump scares either or anything. Like the devs purposely tried to make a game without an intentional jump scare, and it's just, oh, anyway. I don't want to talk about it more than that because it's been on my bucket list for a long time, and I finally got to try the intro, and I was just like, no, I have to like record this. So we'll see when I get around to it. But anyway. It's easier. Is it easier? I'll answer yours in a second, Miss Rhett. Is it easier to get empowered gem boxes today versus yesterday? No, it's the same. No, genuinely, if you're talking about like versus old Trove, it remains relatively untouched, unfortunately. I think like technically there's like these boxes can drop empowered boxes. So there's your cash shop equivalent. There's also this jackass hanging out here in the hub. You hear that one? I always forget this guy exists, the Pancake Man. So you can just bah, 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 bah. But pancakes, again, are cash shop driven, so yeah. My one question is, how's things on your life? How's things on your side? How's life? Fantastic, actually. So I'm personally like, I'm joking about being burnt out, but I'm genuinely like, I know I'm burnt out because on the 29th, the wife and I are going to be doing our annual trip to Japan, and we're actually going to be staying there for 19 days. And oh my God, that's going to be the longest like trip I've had in years, because every time I go on vacation, I got to stock up videos. So that's 19 days worth of stocked up content. I just finished getting everything ready, getting everything scheduled. So now I'm kind of in recovery mode where I'm just trying to like get that out of my head and just be able to chill and vibe with like streaming and gaming and playing stuff and whatever. So, but then other than that, for actual life, I mean, when we go to Japan, it's going to be the first trip with the baby. The grandma, Mariko's mom, is going to be meeting us like day one, and we're most of all going there for family time rather than tourist time. But I'm just so stoked for the food, man. God damn, like the ramen and sushi and everything. And I keep making jokes to my friends like, oh, I'm going to come back fat. And then it's like, wait, I won't, because it's actually healthy. But yeah, as for baby Leon, I mean, he's growing fast. Not that I really notice that much of the milestones anymore, but he's crawling around a lot. Still kind of doing an army crawl on his belly. We got him a bike seat, and I biked him around the parking lot a couple days ago, and then today was the first time that I just took him for like a bike ride. But unfortunately, it's winter, so yeah, it sucks. It's too cold, and I worry because I'm biking, and yeah, the main thing is my cardio is terrible. I seriously need to actively either jog or do biking just to build it up, because my legs are still shaking right now from the amount of hills that there are where we live. But yeah, otherwise it's all good. Really hoping. There's my cousin who had their first kid as well. Crazy thing is that my brother and his wife had their daughter. We have our baby, and then my cousin has his baby, and I think they're all within a year of each other. But we're really hoping that he can come out here during the trip, during Christmas, I should say, or holidays. But yeah, it's all good, you know. I'm really happy with where everything's at right now. The only thing was just, again, being overwhelmed trying to get all those videos done for the trip. But yeah, thanks for asking. I'm looking forward to doing some more vlogging as well while we're out there. And then, oh, right. The wife you got to enter into a raffle to see the Nintendo Museum. I'm kind of a fan. And the wife got accepted. So that means all of us get to go. Damn it. We still got to do, there's a thing that we can do, but we have to do it online before we go on our trip, where we can add our Mii characters to our ticket so that they'll give us a pass that has our Mii characters. And our Mii characters are so effed up. Like, we really want to do it so that they just get confused. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate it. I want to eat and watch stuff while I still have time before I got to go to bed, because it's 4 a.m. for me.